insights that you have given them, that we shall translate it to the community down on the ground. That our economy shall have a change, that our society shall be blessed. Be with us from the beginning to the end. Watch over us to the glory of your name. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Thank you.
I'm Jenny Kasangaki, a district female councillor who represents Kiryandongo sub-county and Kiryandongo town council. I expect to learn modern farming methods.
I'm Charles Tinkamanyile, district councillor representing Mutunda sub-county, and expect to learn how to the modern way of goats rearing.
I'm Dennis Dachan, I'm the principal assistant cow. My expectation is to learn the best modern farming practices that suit the interests of the people of Munyoro.
Mwengia Issa Hassan, I'm the district production and marketing officer of Kiryandongo district government. And of course, we already laid down my expectations is all the expectations that our people here expect. They are in mind because basically be exposed to various technologies in crops, in livestock, how fish have appeared, those kind of stuff, and then we see how can we translate it or disseminate it for farmers.
My name is Godwin Jesus, District Speaker Kiryandongo. I expect to learn something new that I can put on my farm, something different that I had not done before. So today I expect to get something that I can learn here and go apply it somewhere.
I am Manyo Patrick Zubai, the councillor representing Bulindi sub-county. I am expecting to learn about beekeeping.
Washington Chaya is my name. Councillor representing Karoma Town Council, and at the same time chairperson production committee. My expectation is to learn this modern technology in farming. Then I want to compare with our traditional one.
Sorry, Helen is my name. Represent the council. My expectation is I would like to know more about how to keep local chicken and pig rearing.
My name is Kiryandongo Moses, district councillor representing Kiryandongo sub-county. My expectation is I would like to know the vaccines that are used to vaccinate common diseases in poultry or in chicken.
Councillor Pele, district female councillor for Karoma and the sub-county. My expectation I want to learn more about on crop, like soya beans.
I'm Rajab Hassan, representing persons with disability. I expect to know more on crossbreeding.
I am Baraza Charles, councillor representing Kibumba sub-county, where a small narrow sits. I expect to learn more about the local feeds or alternative feeds for pig or pigs.
My name is James, representing Nyamasa sub-county. So my expectation is only to know and after the new skills concerning the local poultry.
Call me Masiga Stephen. I represent Kiryandongo Town Council. My expectation, there are 3 key areas. One, grafting. If at all we have rabbit rearing, and how to raise maggots.
Moses, councillor representing sub-county council. From this tour, I expect to learn more on the good seeds for planting, mostly in maize.
Violet Murungi, Principal Human Resource Officer. My expectation is obvious. I expect to know more about the new farming technologies at the institute.
First Freeman, District Council, I represent Kiryandongo Council. My area of focus is livestock and local poultry.
Linda Doran is my name, the District Female Youth Councillor. Expect to add on more knowledge on the little I have in agriculture and farming. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Obure Tony, DVH Kiryandongo. Mine may not be today, but I would like Bulindi Zardi to help our farmers on how best, we are good at planting maize, and we have those topers for maize. How best we can advise farmers on utilizing those topers as a source of feeds to our animals.
Matthew Musa is my name. I represent the youth in the council of Kiryandongo district, and I expect to go back with some honey, if there is, very good. And also, and I'm interested in learning more about piggery.
I'm Rashid Okeja, representing the Bulindi sub-county, and my expectation is to learn how the modality of keeping bees or apiary.
District Councillor representing Nyamasa and Mutunda sub-counties. At the same time, I'm the Deputy Speaker, Kiryandongo District Local Government. My expectations, I expect at least to know more about piggery and growing local chicken.
Morris Tumusime, Senior Assistant Cow, assigned as Clerk to Council of Kiryandongo District Local Government. I expect to learn new agriculture technologies at Bulindi with agriculture specialists.
I'm a district councillor representing older persons and also representing Kiryandongo Town Council. I expect to learn more new learnings about agriculture, at the same time about goat rearing.
I'm at Hairasar, District Councillor representing workers. I'm expecting to learn more on agriculture, goat rearing, poultry.
I'm Tukunde Sharon Kiza, representing Masinport sub-county. My expectation is to learn on new modern methods of farming, mostly on livestock and beekeeping.
However, discuss secretary for others. I expect to go back with chicks. Number one.
I'm Honorable King Naume, District Councillor, representing Chankene sub-county. My expectation is I expect to learn more about the local chicks and how they are being hatched, and I want to go with the one.
I'm going to say, a woman councillor representing Kibumba Town Council in the council. At the council, I'm a sector of education, Kiryandongo District Government. My expectation is the modern ways of goat rearing and chicken, this local chicken, the improved one, how it is improved.
I'm David Migeni Semudu, Secretary for Finance, and I represent Kiryandongo sub-county. My expectation here is to have an hint on each and everything that you do here concerning production.
I'm Okot Boni, the District Vice Chairman, the male councillor for older persons at the district, and Secretary for Community-Based Services. My expectations are many, but the key one is I want to see ox plow for planting and for weeding.
My name is Aliguma Edith Adieri. I'm the District Chairman Kiryandongo. I have 3 areas of expectation. One, when it comes to making feeds for piggery, we should know how it is done according to the age, because I imagine that different age take different types of feeds. Then also I also expect to have some knowledge about passion fruit growing. And another one is also to know how we can manage our vegetables, how we can manage the pests without so much chemicals, how we can do it organically if it is possible. And lastly, I also expect that after here, we shall always be having a lot of interactions with the institute in form of a partnership.
That handles everything to do with livestock. Okay? Then we have technology promotion and outreach. That's the program that I hate. So after these programs have generated their technologies, ABCD, now my program comes in to push these technologies to the farmers, give information to the farmers. That's why we're in charge of the tours. Okay? Now we're going to share the knowledge and information that we have about the different varieties of crops that you're interested in with the experts. Yes? Yes, I think that is also good. Now, the institute is headed by the Director of Research. I don't know, I think some of you have met him, some of you haven't. Dr. Dixon Babuma is the Director of Research. Then under the Director of Research, you have now these programs who are called lower level managers that manage these programs. Then you have support staff, then you have the other staff.
Representing many people, the poorest, the middle, and even the richest. You have places there. So you should read this place when you have customized a message for those different people you are representing. If you have these rich farmers, those are the abilities that can tell them that you want to, how is that going to get it? Now that's now your responsibility when you come to these committees. I think you let us put a budget. So some good things there, let us put a budget, buy something for some few people that are not doing well but they're very active, so that they're also exposed and involved. So it adds in the quality of their views because it will be evidence-based. We can have our own, because maybe when we are rushing, I can put a priority, but in the committee, I can say, based on what I saw the other side, why don't we consider this? Because I might have forgotten. So basically, that's how publicly I'm able to cover some of those other. And then the partnership is very important. You see this Zardi has been here.
Our colleagues, they don't value the issue of vaccination. But some who have started vaccinating, you can go home and find someone is having over 50 chicken. And someone like these big days, you pick around the 20, you sell each. If I'm selling 20 chicken at 20,000, that's how much? Can't it help you? So I'm going off track, but I'm bringing the issue of chicken. So I intend, actually you can grow. I can start from raw chicken. If I have 40, like we have said, you are selling 20 and you are getting 400,000. Can't I now graduate from the 400 and then I buy maybe goats? With goats, do I have a lot to do? Even if I'm riding about a border, I'm first try my chicken, my goats in the morning, then I go and work. In the evening, I can even help you out. And also we are coming up with some innovations where we can see where we can help farmers when it comes to goats. We can have goats from zero grazing as well, like we have that. And we have that. And the good advantage with goats, they eat little. So we can train farmers on how you can make medicine. Okay, this is just
basing on the fact that this institution is also big, we shall also witness. It is also big, but also being the timing, some things may not be viable, but looking at the land modern farming method, here we are going to have a glimpse of some, especially those that are still in the field, but others that we have harvested
may not be possible. Goat rearing, we shall go there. Farming practices, yeah, I've already talked about it. Various technologies, it's okay. We are going to have a diversity. Learning something new. Beekeeping, yes, we shall have that chance. Local chicken, yes, we shall do that. Pig rearing, yes. Pig farming, yes. Vaccination in chicken, we shall look at it. Crop information, yes. Crossbreeding, we'll talk about it, but it will be more maybe theory. Local feeding for piggery, yes. Local feeds for piggery. Grafting, we shall look at it briefly. Rabbit rearing and maggot rabbit rearing, we may not for today. How together? Maggot farming, which we call it vermiculture. We currently don't have it, but it's in plan under the chicken project, but right now it's not in place. Maize seed varieties, we shall have a chance. Livestock, we are going to get major goats. We shall look at goats. The cows right now, we have a project called the cattle fattening project, where we do get bulls we fatten and sell off altogether. So right now we have already sold off the lot we had, and we're just going to procure another lot for fattening. Ideally, it's like fattening for a period of 6 months, then you sell off. So at this time, we have already sold off. How to use maize stalks for feeds and those remnants. We shall look at it briefly. Go back with the honey. We may not be having honey right now in stock. Sure. We may not be having.
Nawe ina project nyingi.
Plant. Then the other one is called scion. It is got from improved plant. So what I meant by local plant is you can get the rootstock from that mango tree which is in the common. You get the seeds you plant like this. Then to join them together to become grafted and improve the quality of the fruit, you go and get the scions from these improved mangoes. Then you join them together. Let's see the aspect of joining it together.
You are most welcome.
Good morning
to you all. Good morning, Madam. I'm Madam Doreen Mugari. I'm going to take you the draft course of the grafting. So when we are grafting, we have the rootstock and we have the scion. So when you look at the scion must be of almost of the same size with the what? With the rootstock. And if you look at the scion, you will see that this scion must be mature enough. When we say it is mature, we mean when it has these eyes. You can see there is the eye here.
Oh, you call them buds?
The buds. In our local language, you can call them eyes here. So once you get the scion that has eyes, you know that once you graft, it will come out as I will show you those ones which have already sprouted, which have already become leaves. So this one is going to develop leaves after the union. So I'm going to take you. We make a cut, and that cut must be a sharp cut. So as we are making a cut, it has to be slanting.
You lift your hands higher.
It must be.
No,
you come move the cutting. This thumb here must be below here, so that directs the what? The knife. Should you do it like this, then this knife is going to end up on your what? On your skin. But this thumb, if you put it under here, it will direct the what? The knife, and you will not cut yourself. So we do it. So this is the slanting cut, and it has to be tall enough so that when you are tying, it gives you that room to tie well. So we are going to get. So the rootstock, we are going to remove this the leaves, so that we minimize the loss of water, and also we are going to cut like the slanting cut also.
Remove some leaves to reduce the rate of transpiration.
So we are going to join the two plants, so they have come like together now. They are two. You see? So from there we cut. This one we are improvising because we are in a local community. We are using a local thing that can make your work. Because they are also improved tapes which they use, but they are very expensive. But we can use the kavera as we have done for all these. Can use the kavera, black kavera.
Can't you use banana fiber?
No. Banana fiber, no. Even salt tape, no.
But the kavera is easier.
So when you are tying, you tie from up as you are coming down. So this one we are tying it because we want it to join, and so that we protect it from the what? From the diseases, the fungal infections, and also so that it can heal very fast.
Why do you tie from up?
Just that one is through experience. If you tie from down, it may be hard for you to join them.
The healing of the
And
grafted part.
this thing here, if you put the cap, it must be below. It must go below the what?
The grafting point.
The grafting point. Then maybe another thing which I want to go through is the pests which are affecting the fruit industry. We normally have the.
It is healthy.
You first cut it. You first cut it.
It is healthy. It looks healthy. Let me cut it and see.
It looks healthy.
It is rotten.
We normally see this.
No, it is healthy. Can you eat?
Those one who said it is healthy.
No, it is healthy.
Have you seen those tunnels which are made now? Those are not the maggots. After the pupa, they change to the maggots.
So these maggots will develop into those pupils, those ones.
Adult fruit flies.
Then those ones will come into that. And they are really affecting our what? In case you don't have it, you can see there are others which are already inside. You see them?
The live ones.
Yes.
Those are dead ones, the live ones are there. And those ones are the female ones, not male ones. So our mangoes are rotten because of the female ones.
The dead one.
This one is the one which we use to attract the pheromone. It's called the pheromone. Then this one. This one is for attracting for.
It attracts the female fruit fly.
The smell.
How do you detect
the rock like this? It is a disease.
But they smell nice.
Sorry?
When they have the crack, there's where they smell very nice, and some of us go for those ones which have the crack.
Like this one?
But this one has a disease. It has the opening which can increase the multiplication of what? Pathogens.
Mangoes, We shall look one by one. We have the local made from a logo tree, but there's a hole inside. Before sighting, you first bait it using, you can use beeswax or local materials like banana, yellow bananas. You smear there after you sight it. That one will help bees to come very fast. Another type, we have the KTB. Is abbreviated KTB. Simply it was made from Kenya, Kenyan Tokba hive. Inside it has a buzz. This buzz here. Yeah. The bees constructed the combs from this end up to this end, and that format.
But also before sighting, you first bait it using these words. So look at it. You put on each bar. It has the entrance holes where it is entered from. This one was got 2 chambers. It has the brood chamber and the honey chamber. For this, it has the frames, whereas this one has the bars. Also, before sighting this one, you first bait it using the wax. You melt the wax, then you pour in this line for the groove. After pouring, you replace back again the frames.
Very low.
And the climatic
So
changes.
we are looking at a way how agriculture, the big number of people involved in agriculture, can be positioned to produce much, contribute much in terms of what?
Output.
Output, GDP. So we expect, like in this beekeeping, someone to be in position, if we say we have like 10 of this or 1 of this, you can generate like in a monthly or in a year
this much.
so much, so that someone can make competitive advantage to go in for this or go in for maize or this type like that.
Maybe when you look at these different beehives, because here we have 3 different ones. There's the local type, which has its disadvantages and advantages. Altogether, even these ones, maybe when it tells you the advantages and disadvantages, that's when you can pick out.
Of course, me I would recommend you to go to this one, because here you are going to remove only the frame with its comb. Then you remove, you open the cells, then you take to the machine. You process it. After processing, you return back at the frame with its comb. You place it back. Its comb. Then the bees will just refill the honey. But here, you are going to cut all the comb, and the bees will take time.
Build
the comb. Remember here, the time will not be spent a lot compared. Even here, also here you are cutting all the combs.
But in production, this one, which means apart from the short time returns, what about the production? Is it more here or more?
It is more here, because here you are just processing and taking. The bees will just refill.
How many liters can you get in one
Here
box?
you can get 10 liters.
After how long?
2 months.
Can it be
3 months?
It is 3 months, not 2 months.
How much it costs the machine for processing?
The machine I can't tell, because here they use procurement.
You also process the gelling and the propolis of the honey.
We process propolis.
You do sell them.
Yes.
And how much is like a bottle here?
30 mil costs 5,000.
Now,
Where
are
is
you
the-
press right
that
now?
smoke there?
Are they in press right now?
Yes, the remain is few of them.
Maybe how much does it cost if one wants to purchase?
This one is sold in pair. This one and this one. Around 150. Whereas this one is 70. He said you bring the frame with its comb. You open up the cells. Remember, red honey will be, the comb will be sealed. First remove using the fork, then you bring it in. This one carry 3 frames. Then you rotate. Then honey will like when you wash your clothes and you do like this. After you change the frames, then you repeat the process.
So the honey will be inside there.
Yeah. After you remove the frame, you take it back to the hive. Then the bees will just refill. Then
How can a local man get this thing?
let's see the word.
So must be cheap.
Then this one is uses
Because I am what? Shabibu.
Within the local but present, and there were only three districts that were lucky or are the ones going to benefit. Kiryandongo, Hoima and Chikube are the districts that are going to benefit from this project, and we already got the farmers. I'm sure the political heads are aware, or the district heads are aware of the project in the area. So with us here we have the local chicken, and I saw one person raised about vaccination, then brooding, then for the Gumboro is the water or time. Then the fall pox is always a jab on the wing web. It has its special equipment that we use for administering the vaccine at the wing web. Then in fall typhoid is also very kept in the range of 35. And the prescription always has to be given the people can either
Visit, how often can I change the ice blocks if I'm to keep my vaccines there?
Ice block fridge?
Ice blocks.
Because as you are putting ice, you keep fluctuating the temperatures of what? And by fluctuating the temperatures, remember the vaccine you are having is a live thing and supposed to be at a particular temperature. So those fluctuations are not encouraged. Actually, either use a fridge, and if you are buying, buy and take directly to go and vaccinate. When it's under ice, it's not good to keep vaccines under ice. Then also, actually, as you are talking about brooding, some people didn't know the meaning of brooding. By brooding, you are trying to copy what a chicken can do when it's having chicks. When it is cold, it will bring all chicks under what? Under the wings. So, without the mother, you can do it artificially. Like I have a house like that one, and I provide a source of heat. We usually use it like a pot. Actually, a pot is good because it tends to keep heat for some time.
With some ash.
But now we have talked about temperatures, but at home.
Then there is the other one she talked of, there are like 4 of pimples around had swelling, like what-like swelling, that is the smallpox. So this infectious coryza, the good thing is it's bacterial, so it can be treated by these antibiotics in the drug shops. So for the drawing, it was done by... No, not inside. Around here. There are 2 bones. So, but this one is still a pullet.
If the chicken is laying, if you put the 2 hands like this, the 2 fingers...
Usually 2 and above shows you that it is a good one.
It will go through.
Good layer.
It will be perfect.
It will rest on the bone.
It will be a bit of
Oh, it will
Feel it here.
Let's check. So usually 2 fingers and above is the best. The hand of one, but this one is still
That is good if you have benefited. If you have benefited, it is very good. Just imbibe.
What we can use here is we are using bio, just like acid. You can get the extract of this neem or mkazi mutafu. This one Mexican marigold. You just get it. It has patent irritating smell. Then you squeeze it, then you mix it with water and naphtha sprayer, and then you spray the in the field.
Oh, you squeeze?
You first pound it. You pound it, you get the extract, you put in the knapsack sprayer, you spray the acid in the field. It has only repellent effect.
You pound.
Not
You
have
pound.
any harmful effect.
And then?
But with the beans, which are already in the store, post-harvest handling, you can get the leaves, you mix it with that. All the new leaves,
Even the leaves.
you mix it. That pungent smell, you can smell it. That pungent smell, it will repel these weevils away.
So for the leaves, you need to dry them first?
No, you put them when they are wet, because they smell stronger when they are wet. Then, that is how you are supposed to look at this maize. It is completely weevil. This one you cannot eat. This one you cannot sell in the market. That is how a farmer loses the what they produce in the process of post-harvest handling. Then, another one thing which you need to sensitize the farmers about is exposition. Currently, you know that area of the US is high in production of maize. And this maize sometimes it has to be exported to the Kenya. Kenya has recently refused Ugandans maize. Why? The Ugandans have developed what we call aflatoxins. You see this maize, you see that brown. So the effect of that thing is also dangerous to human life. One, child eats it, the stomach swells. Hens eat it, they die. You also lose money when toxin foods. So how is this thing developed? This aflatoxin starts from the field. It starts from the field. When a farmer fails to harvest the maize or the crop in time, for instance, you leave the maize in the field when it has dried, you leave the rain washes it, then eventually it begins to absorb the moisture from the rainwater. Then after getting the moisture, it begins to develop molds. So the molds are the ones causing this aflatoxin. So it is advisable to harvest the maize as soon as it is ready. Then in the store, proper drying. Dry it proper to the required moisture content of 13%. Then after drying it, either if it is not for immediate consumption, you use melation, which is called seed dressing. You can use alkalic super dust, melation, even that tablet.
I use this to keep my 20 tons.
You can use it because it is available. Like if it goes like that one in our compound, you just get the branches, you mix. But you make sure that the frequency of mixing it also matters. Because if you leave it there, I'll mix it, and then it dries, it will lose that smell, which will repel the insect. So you keep on adding.
I think you can give us your number and the rest of the questions. We shall interact with you.
Good. 0784.
This is yellow.
That is narrow being 3, 2, and 1. 0784. Yes. 91.
Mkazi mchafu.
No, after that now you begin to young.
Things on the way almost. Erihano. Egg.
The first shower before going there.
About 5 months, 5, 6 years.
How can you say 1,000? That's what it is. So the rest are solid. Oh, why it is But when you put this thing here, you give enough food.
Okay? Mulavuke, not Mulavuke. Mulavuke, because I've overstayed with Uganda and now we call me Uganda accent. So, my name is Mulavuke. Oh, Mulavuke ni Lulu. I'm your neighbor.
Come from the same area. My strong home is in Kaboge.
So, and I'm done more production technician. So I'll be taking you through figure and the pastor. You saw what we did as we were entering. When we were capturing the whatever your expectations. There's someone, I will not remember very well, I need to check, talked about using imported pigs. The reason why we are doing that is that we don't also have, we don't want to have such scenario which happens on us. Many times I've spent here, this is now my 5th year. And ever since I came here, we have been having cases of African swine fever, or pigs dying, including even the one for big neighbors of ours. But we have never experienced an outbreak. Why? Because first of all we have what we call the biosecurity and also the biosafety measures around our farm. It's key and very important. This is a piggery, whatever piggery unit, and the reason why we have it here is we are looking at contributing to our mandate. We quote the one for narrow. So we do research and we do research on these pigs, but at the same time we multiply or give out seed to improve the seed to the farmers, the piglets, the ones I'm referring to as seed. So Bunyoro sub-region is one of the most leading regions where it's a leading region where pig or pork is consumed. That means still in Uganda. And that means that it's one of the regions still where pigs are kept more compared to other regions. Planning to have it in mind, the thing you need to think of is why am I going into such a business? Am I intending to produce pork? Am I a breeder? Am I going to be fattening? You should actually clearly have the clear mind over what you're going to be doing specifically. So that's that now takes us into what we call enterprise work planning. So if you are intending to be a breeder, then you look at the market. Where am I going to be selling whatever the piglets or the breeding, whatever the breeding stock? Then what are the requirements or the demand for the whatever for the public? Who will be taking it? So those are some of the things you need to look at. And now, when it comes to now farm planning,
this is where it's very important now for you to know actually where am I putting the structures, which structures do I need, and how do I now manage these structures, including the animals themselves. So here we can look at, I don't want to talk a lot about theories. Let's just see and generate some whatever from what you're seeing. You can see that we have a perimeter what? A perimeter fence. That chain link. It's very important, otherwise I think by now we would have treated the business. But it is very important to the whatever, to the animals themselves and even you, the chief investor. All together. That will protect these whatever the animals from contact with outside environment. The thieves, the wild animals, even the domestic animals. Because pigs are like chicken. We have talked about chicken. They actually, I may say that they are like tomatoes. Perishable. They are delicate in case infection comes in or gets into the whatever the store. So you need to have what? The perimeter fence, and should actually be chain link or a wall. But we look at also the economics. How much does it cost to put a wall, or you'd rather go for alternative whatever?
Live fence.
You can use live fence, but I think we use live fence with the one which is thorny. So that it can even protect these small animals which will get into that time. Now the fence is very important. Also at the entrance we need to have the disinfecting whatever unit or coil. If we, actually for us here we don't allow any vehicles, but bigger farms they allow vehicles inside. And they need also to be what? Disinfected before they get into the what? Into the unit. Then when we look at the structures, it depends on somebody's capacity. What you see here may not actually be what you may put there exactly, but what is important is to imitate what is here. Or get some little science behind what, why this is stout. So there are people what, others call them tractors, you know. That's why we're making it concrete. But there are also other new structures or modern structures, most especially for those ones who are living in what? In town. I think those ones should come by next year. We shall be having one here. For growers, we give them different whatever. That's 18% protein. The protein level should be at least 18% altogether. Then if they are whatever they are, this is whatever those ones which have grown, we are giving maintenance feed. We give them that feed which is containing about 13% with what? Good protein. Then for these other ones, 15, basing on the what? On the net or state of the what? Pigs. All together. And you don't know, maybe what you do, you just have to share. Then when it comes to disease management, of course there are some few diseases which are of importance in pigs. The most important one is the what? Is the African swine fever. We know that this disease is a viral disease and there is no what? Vaccine for it. And being that there is no vaccine, still we don't have any specific, actually there is no treatment. It does not have any treatment. Someone can't say that I have treated the pig suffering from African swine fever and it's cured. But we sometimes give supportive treatment or secondary treatment. But it does not guarantee that what is given, I'm going to give it. It does not guarantee that what is given will cure it. And the most challenging factor is that when you go outside there, farmers, actually in community, the most people who spread this disease are the vets. I'm sorry to say this. You observe this, that when there is an outbreak, the vet is working day and night. And they come with their one syringe with one needle. He injects one, he comes to your pigs, from there he goes to the neighbor, from the neighbor to the other, then from there, same syringe.
And he's smiling.
You get it? I want to disagree with him.
Actually, the main source of spread of African swine fever, the pigs which are infected, they tend to slaughter and then people buy.
I was coming to that.
As you buy, you tend to take to different places. Where you put, where you throw the remains. Even dogs come and pick and keep taking. So that one, wherever there is that, you know, the virus is not killed by him. So this meat you are taking, and the dogs take the remains, they keep moving. They are the main sources of but rather for us, the moment we know there is an outbreak, actually we tend to limit it.
Maybe I used the wrong language, but I say actually it's let me reframe it. The informal vets are also part of, actually this is research.
Yes.
The informal vets, actually, because there's few whatever. Most times, not the vets from the whatever, from either from the sub-counties. We have private, so many private vets. I said just one of whatever, one of the factors. Yes. Not I mean the vets around your unit and then having disinfectants on the whatever at the entrance, but also limiting people entering, accessing the what? Accessing the whatever the unit. Then coming out in search for what to eat. So they come into contact with with the domestic pigs, which are also released. Because now everyone has harvested, so no one is complaining over the pigs destroying crops. So those are some of the key sources where this whatever, in addition to what he has said, the slaughter places, you find that the animals, the dogs, even people themselves are moving meat everywhere. So then the other effect is on whatever, the worms. The worms, most times people don't deworm pigs. And if they happen to deworm, they normally, yes, they normally give underdose to what? They normally give underdose to when they are deworming their pigs. I have a drug shop there. Somebody comes and says, I want a
tablet.
Yes, that blue one.
For 500.
You don't know, it's a 500 or 300. Then you can't give such a pig. You get it? So the worms become also an issue, yes. Then also maybe African, swine erysipelas, or diamond disease. So those are some of the whatever diseases with what? Then the litter would have gone to 2,000. Why is it going to 2,000? Because there is scarcity. And what is causing scarcity? No pasture. No, actually sometimes, but here we don't have so much problem with water. The issue is only pigs. For us, we have both pasture and water in Nakasongo. Yeah, so now we know that for you to have 1 liter produced, an animal requires 5 liters of water and then literally 1.5 kilograms of complete feed. Complete feed, yes, for 1 liter, for an animal to give you that liter of milk. You get it? It requires 5 liters of water and then 1.5 kilograms of what? Of feed. Altogether. And if the animal is 100 kilograms, let's say, because it can't be 100, let's say it's 300 kilograms. Averaging, a dairy cow ranges between 300 and 500 or 700. So if it's 300 kilograms, that means up to the 3% of that 300 kilograms, because the animal requires 3% of its body weight. Altogether, of the feeds, yes. So how many kilograms are those ones?
Not 30.
Literally 30 or 9?
9.
Yes, 9 kilograms. 9, 12 around there. But that 9 kilograms, no, it's not literally that this wet whatever pasture it's eating. We are talking about the dry matter. Maybe after you have dried whatever the pasture the animals consumed, and the body has utilized that whatever 9 kilograms altogether. So now, what happens is that during this period, there is always scarcity. People have burned, and there are so many whatever fires. So after burning, Now the animal loses what to eat and it can't give you what you expect of it. So in the due process, you find that we need to conserve what? These feeds. When we conserve it, that means we shall have what? A continuous production. To certain level, some few people, not but literally good number now, they are trying to adopt this system. When you go outside these developed countries and also these other good countries which are doing well in production, literally they feed their animals on what? Conserved pastures, not fresh. Altogether. So for them they have migrated from feeding whatever the animals on fresh feeds to dry. Because one, it will increase the number of animals, the stocking density or stocking rate. You find that 1 acre, somebody having 1 acre for putting up just structures, then the other, let's say 50 acres, is just for pasture production. So someone who would have 25 animals, now you find that at this point he's having over 100 animals, or 150 altogether. So even production increases, and also the productivity still altogether. So that's the reason why we have these pastures. And we have got what? We have the grazing pastures, but also we have the what? Some legume pastures and then the fodder trees. The fodder trees, of course, and the legumes, they are good because you know, for you to have milk produced, 80% of the milk is protein. And these fodder trees and the fodder trees and the legumes have got higher crude protein content. We measure, or we categorize, or we name the pasture to be good based on the what? On the nutrient content which it's having. Altogether, when we were getting out, somebody talked about the maize bran, but you have not talked about rice bran. Then I told him that rice bran is good, but it does not have, it has got low nutrient content altogether. And once the nutrient content is low, that means it will have low effect on what? On growth, also production and reproduction altogether. So now, these pastures are improved. We call this napier or elephant grass. But they are not the very ones you normally see on the roadsides. These are improved in almost 5 aspects. On the whatever growth rate, nutrient level or content, then the regrowth factor, and then some components like when you look at these varieties, you may find that others have got hair, they are hairy, others are not. You get it? So the reason why we have these ones are the ones which are selected and approved for promotion to what? Farmers. We have got so many varieties, about 20 varieties of napier, like this, about 20 varieties. But here, right now, we are promoting only 2. Why? When you look at the biomass yield, 1 acre is capable of sustaining 7 animals on 0 grazing. Altogether.
Year in, year out.
Year in, year out, no getting out.
1 acre, 7
1 acre. Then secondly, the other advantage is that the only costs you are incurring here is only establishment. When you look at the agronomic practices involved, let's compare this and maize. You can see, look at this. This is a beautiful field. But the moment you harvest today or this season, you have again to incur the cost of cleaning the field, then plowing, planting, and then weeding, till again it comes back to this whatever. But also we take into consideration that if the season is poor, it may affect you, and you find that you don't have enough feeds for your animals. So this, you establish it once, and if you maintain it very well, the field can range between 7 and 10 years without again incurring these other costs. You're only harvesting and you weed. Harvest and weed. And weeding is not mandatory that every time you harvest you have to weed. You get it? Like sugar cane, see when they harvest, it will grow back.
This feeding structure was just built to simulate the natural habit of the goats, because goats are browsers. So when the feed is suspended here, you find they're just picking from up, not down. So this is just put there, especially for those who will do intensive. They can pick up the idea, or those who can also do supplementation to help so much in simulating their natural habits of browsing. Because most of us have let them do much of grazing, which also has a lot of impact on these goats, especially during the wet season. They pick up a lot of worms. That's why you find the goats in the dry areas will even perform better, however much they're tiny. But you see they are huge, because there is minimal worm infestation, because they're picking always from the trees, which is their natural habit. But for us here, because we don't have much of those browsing trees, we're subjecting them to grazing, which has a lot of impact on their health in terms of what? Endoparasite infestation. In pigs, some special dieting, the flushing, so that there will be multiple ovarian release, so that it has more. For goats, the nutritionists have those so much close, but to me I would much emphasize, because sometimes these nutritionists are not there on ground. When you're buying, try so much to always buy from those which have known history of what? Of multiple births. Yeah? Yes, of multiple births. The manipulation of nutrition, I don't have adequate information on that, but to have a nutritionist, I'm sure is so good in that. But it can also be done. Manipulated, the feeding can be manipulated to do. Yes, for the sleds in between. Okay, like in scenarios where we don't have the measuring on water, let's let it be. Over my 2 fingers, that would be. Yes, between the gaps, so that the droppings can go easily.
And the legs, but these are big, the legs.
Yes, that one we admit some of those errors were made by the architect. Yes, those ones. But one thing I can tell you is really good with this house, the urine collection becomes easier. And now when you find most of these funders, these NGOs and what, they're promoting much of organic farming and all that. So you'll find in the near future, there will be market for these, the goat urine, the rabbit urine as fertilizer. So I would also encourage you as upcoming farmers to embrace such. You might not put up a very expensive structure like this, but something where at least you can tap that urine, so that you can use the urine as also what? A place where you can make money from within your enterprise. When it comes to disease management, actually somebody says these goats are not looking good.
I'm one of them.
No, it didn't affect me, but we welcome such responses, because it also helps us. You know, when you're alone, you might not, or you think, this is, but when another person is able to critique you, it also helps you. It is advised much of prevention than treatment, but of course in scenarios where there is disease, you have to come up and treat. You have to come up and treat. So biosecurity is very key in prevention, and some of the biosecurity aspects, as we always say, the fencing to minimize the people entering, because we can also be carriers of what? These organisms, microorganisms that cause disease. Then quarantine, yes, quarantine. The new goats, whenever we have new animals, whether goats, just quarantine them for at least like 2 to 3 weeks, because most of the diseases have that incubation period. So you see the animal like it's healthy, you integrate it immediately to your farm, and it becomes a source of what? Infection, because the disease is still incubating. By the time it breaks out,
so how do you tap? Where do you tap?
We have a channel that goes, and there is a pit the other side. But we have not yet started tapping the urine, because the inlet valve was not made. So even if it rains, you'll find the rain will go and So we have not yet started, but it's something that we are going to fix. And for the manure, we are going to build a manure barn. We are not going for the pit. We are pouring it there, but we are going to build a manure barn. Like it's more of a house, but keep turning it within there, it decomposes and sell it off as the manure, the composted one.
Yeah, on farm, most likely you may have some challenges. One of them which I can think of is safety. Do you have some challenges and route safety as one of it? And how do you fight it?
Safety is not a challenge because we have security guards. We have security guards at night. During the day, of course, the attendants have as they're grazing, they should be knowing the numbers, they're moving out and coming back.
So the guards sleep around the structures here?
Actually, one thing I forgot to emphasize is when we are doing goat farming, one of the biggest mistakes we make is plan for the future. You'll say, I want 150 goats. But yes, you'll build a structure accommodating 150, but where is the next generation going to be? Because you're not going to stop at 150, and it's one of the challenges we made. I mean, can I call it an oversight? Because this house is meant to contain 150, but the plan for the kids and the next was not there.
Even at the time of delivery and all that.
So for you as farmers, we do encourage, when you're planning, always have an additional structure for feed management. Because one of the biggest issues that comes up is kid mortalities. When you've not planned, trust me, however much you have many goats, yes, the few will survive, but again, when you sit down and look at the ones that have died, you're like, this would have not died if I'd already planned earlier. So whenever you're planning on housing, look in the future. Don't just say, but now I'm going to start with the 5, so I need only the one that can accommodate 5. No, they're going to multiply. So endeavor to do that.
We're going to come through all these districts in those tailor-made processes. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for coming. Hope I've been reading the expectations here. Hope they have been met. Now, without wasting time, is there any question? Burning question that requires an answer? If there is no question, I think we can, as I've been informed by my facilitators, we are going to wrap up from here. We're going to have the chairman notified, give us a word, closing word. Then those who are interested in the goats, which is going to be the last, we are going to proceed to the goats. Then we can go on. Is that okay? Yes. I'm seeing people eating mangoes. We have very ripe mangoes outside. I think they have been there. Yeah. Yeah. So I really want to thank you so much for coming. Please come again. I hope they have really done a good job. Please come again. We want to reach out to farmers, and we can reach out to farmers through you when you tell them what we can do here. And please bring them. Because we want to change our people. You know, from the 68 that the president is talking about that are still in subsistence, I think now we are 39. We have to verify that, yes. But this is what we're supposed to do. So I think now let me invite the chairman to close, then we can proceed.
We hosted here by you, and also thank you for, shall we book maybe some boas or pigs and pigs and all that. I think that one has not been met, but I'm happy you are talking of doing a little bit bigger things in the future, because as an institution that came to learn from you, we expected that. Because when we go to the piggery site, we shall see many of the pigs, piglets. We can even book and come back and buy. They were able to have gone back with some honey, because we have seen you have a small industry there, meaning you process what? Honey. So I think our advice or our kind of recommendation to the institution, I know that you demonstrate and promote technology, but if you can also add on the other part, where if we come as an institution for the tour, we can also buy and take back, that will be very important and good for us. We also have a number of farmers who are doing all these other technologies or enterprises you have on the farm, they are at some level, and I think when you compare a few of our farms, they are also doing very well. Actually, they are doing better than the piggery unit which we saw. But this does not mean that we have not learned. At least out of the technical explanation, we are learning why should you place your piggery unit in this manner. What is important, the sun rays, the kind of feeding and all that. So from the verbative kind of explanation and what we have seen, and also the writing which we are going back with, we are benefiting a lot from the institution. I think members, our expectation and what we wanted to learn from the institution has been met to some very great percentage. You see, when we wanted to come here, some members were saying, Bulindi is just near here. Bulindi is just a local institution. Why don't we go to Fasese and Barara? But I've heard members confessing that I think there is a lot to be learned from here. And as one of our institutions, which is next to us and very resourceful, we should be able to utilize it maximally for our own benefits and the benefit of our community. So I want to thank you so much, and please extend our appreciation to the head of the institution, and we are looking forward to the continual kind of interaction and learning more from you. As when you also come down, I expect that we can take you to one or two farms. You also advise them on the ground, and maybe you will be able to pick one or two things back to the institution. We thank you so much for being with us, and from the members, I expect one person to say just a vote of thanks. Honorable Jane.
For my, not in the para way of big things. Thank you so much. My fellow councillors, the technical team, the executive, our FC5, on their behalf, I take this moment to thank you once again, especially on the technical part of it, which most of us lacked. Personally, as a farmer who does most of these projects, lacked certain of the technical part, but through the learning, the lessons, the whole process you've taken us through, I'm saying we are very grateful. Thank you so much. We will be grateful one day when you bring us again to see those which we've not seen, the animals. Some people here are cattle keepers. There are many. They would have also wished to know that technical part of it, but we are saying we are very appreciative. Thank you so much, and we wish you a nice day. As we go back, that shall remain together. I wish you gave us your contacts. Shall get the guidance. Why you may need a piglet, and I say, please, is it there? Should I come? Me, I do that project. That's why you're so keen following up to understand everything. So the contact is also very important. I think to everyone here, your contacts. That's so much. So that brings us to the end of our stay here. Safe journey to the rest of what traveling.
Prayer.
And also to stay. Prayer.
Just before we pray.
A prayer.
Just before we pray, I am requesting that first warm the hands very well. Okay? They receive us? Yes. Yes. You already receive your receiving hand. Asante sana. Yongeza tena. Yes.
Thank
you. Can now pray.
Let's have ourselves and pray.
I want to thank you for whatever you have taken us through by your grace. We say thank you for the learning which you have put here, and we pray that may the knowledge which you have taken out here, it did not die in us, let us take it down to the people we need for the prosperity and for the betterment of their life. We pray all this through our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Bye. Now we can vote. After voting, we can go to the vote.
We can first see the goats, then we vote.
Bulindi.
Wanaenda na gari, wanatembea.
Hapana choka hata na Kiryandongo.